Alright folks, thanks for coming. Today we're gonna do special products using polynomials, okay? Before I continue, please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. If you have any comments or questions, leave them under the video, okay? Listen, there are special products that are very useful. I think there are three of them, three different multiplication of polynomials. That's what I mean by product. I don't mean product you buy, but product is you multiply one polynomial with another. There are three types we're gonna deal with, in this video, okay? So, but I'm gonna summarize what I'm talking about, and then from there we'll go, okay? So let's go. Okay, let me summarize what we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna deal with the special products I'm talking about has to do with square binomials, okay? When you say square, it means the exponent is 2, and you know what is binomial? Bi means 2. Binomial means that it has 2 terms only. 2 terms, okay? Now look at A. Look at number A. That's a special binomial we're gonna deal with. It's a special binomial. Notice that what is inside the bracket is a binomial with 2 terms, x and b. And then notice that what we're gonna do, it's like x, hang on a minute, x, I'm sorry. It's not actually b, I made a mistake. I wanna do it like this instead of b. It doesn't matter, it can be b, it's okay. But I rather have a in there. By the way, notice that in this thing, all the stuff I'm talking about, A and B are real numbers. You remember, I told you when we did set theory, that's how you say A and B are real number. The same thing I'm saying, A and B are real numbers, okay? Real numbers. Alright. Now, notice that when you say x plus a squared, you're talking about x plus a times x plus a. You see, so you're multiplying 2 binomials. You see that, right? Okay. And then notice on this one here, when you say x minus b, it's like saying x minus b times x minus another b. So that's multiplying 2 binomials. You see that, right? Because this is a binomial 2 times, this is a binomial 2 times. Okay, so this kind of multiplication have special significance. Sometimes you see that a lot in calculus and other areas like physics. That's why we have to talk about them. You have to know how to deal with them. Okay, look at the third type. You see the third type right there. Notice that it's what is unique about this is the x plus a times x minus a. Okay, you see that, right? So you're multiplying a product with a difference or something like that. Okay, so notice that this is a polynomial, a binomial, polynomial of 2 times, binomial, a polynomial of 2 times, okay? So yeah, these are the stuff we want to deal with. We want to deal with it, x plus a times x minus a. There's a kind of special, you see. Polynomial, binomial everywhere. But we're multiplying 2 binomials. Okay, a, b are real numbers, okay? So that's what we're going to deal with in this video. There are a lot of problems you will see. They are very useful. We'll knock it out, and then in the other video, I was going to combine this video with with like what do you call that division of polynomial, but it's gonna be too big, you know. So let's handle one thing here. Then we'll have another video where we deal with division of polynomial. We're gonna do division of polynomial with monomial, and then we're gonna do division of polynomial with polynomial, which is long division. That's another video, so don't worry about that. When we get there, we'll deal with that. So let's get you some examples. All right, we're gonna start with binomial. Okay, we deal with binomial first. All right, now you see that thing there. A is x plus a, then inside bracket, then the whole thing is squared, right? You know, when you solve problems somewhere in physics or mathematics or anything, you know, we're gonna give you a lot of examples. You will see something like that. You need to be able to know how to handle it. Notice that it's a binomial inside that bracket. Binomial means two times. X is one time, A is another time, okay? A is a constant. A could be anything. It's a real number. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 100. So there is a way they expand that. They expand it to x squared, okay, plus 2ax, like that, okay, plus a squared, like that, okay. So keep your eye on this thing and see. So look at the terms. So basically you square this, you square that, and then you multiply by 2a times x. So you take a and you multiply with x, you times it by 2. Let me tell you how they arrived at what they have is x plus a squared. You can write that as x plus a times x plus a. You see that, right? You see why? Because you say you're taking whenever you square something, you multiply that into y's, right there. Okay, so Americans use what they call FOIL. You take x, you multiply x. You keep with x, you take x, you multiply a. And then you come to start with this a here. You take a, you multiply x, you take a, you multiply a. That's all. And then you add a lot of them. Let me see. X times x is squared, x squared, okay? And then plus x times a, we'll write it as ax. We don't write the xa, you know. And then we're done with x. Let's start with a over here. A times x, we'll have another ax. A times a, we'll have a squared. You see that, right? So when you simplify, you get x squared plus 2 of this, 2ax plus a. You see that, right? That's how they arrived at that. You see, right? Okay, so I'm supposed to do that. Then let me give you an example. Let's say, what was that example? We had x plus, let's say x plus 2, and we square it. And then you do the same way we just did over here. You say x, you see the same thing as x plus 2 times x plus 2. If that helps you, you multiply it like that. You say x times x is x squared, right? Then x times a plus 2x. And then 2 times x again plus 2x. You see that, right? And then 2 times 2 is 4. It's 2 squared. Alright. So now we can simplify. You see that, right? We'll simplify that. What do we get? We'll get x squared plus 4x plus 2 raised to power 2. I can write it as 4. But notice, compare to this one here. Compare it to there. And you can compare that thing to that one, you see? If you compare, you notice that what they did there, if you want to use that, if you understand what that did, you substitute x with x. X is equal to x, a is equal to 2. If you do that, what do you get? You get, using this one here, you get x squared plus 2, remember this a, 2 times that's like a 2 times 2x, okay, plus 2 squared. You see that I'm using the idea here. What do you get there? You get x squared plus 4x plus 2 raised to the power 2. You see, we got the same thing right here. So, but it's usually it's better to multiply it out. But why this is good is if you see something like this, you can then put it in this form here. So in some problem situation, it's better to do it like that. That way you can let's say you're factoring something, a huge something that contains different factors. You see that or you see that, you can substitute one or with the other, okay? All right, let's leave one example. That's enough. When we get to, well, you know what? Let me do one more example. That way you see what can happen. Let me do one more example, but I gotta make space. You know what? I'll move that down. Don't worry. Let me move it down. This is B. Let me move it down. B, x minus B, like that. Okay, and then I take this arrow here. This is arrow here for now. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say we have it. You can have an example like this: 4x plus, let's say 1 squared. Okay, so if we compare that to that, notice that there's 1 here, but we usually don't write it like this. So here there is 4 instead of 1. So you can multiply out to go the same way we normally do. You can say 4x plus 1 times 4x plus 1, like that. Okay, you multiply that out. What is that? 4x times 4x. You start with 4x. It will be let me see, 16x squared, right? Plus 4x times 1. You get 4x. And then you start with 1. 1 times 4x is 4x. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so you can simplify that. You get 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. You notice that, right? See? Okay. So notice what is going on compared to here. You see what is going on there. Okay? So you can have something legitimate. It's actually okay to have something like that. You just multiply it out. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, let's do the next one. The next one, what that stands for is, if you multiply that thing out, this is number B now, you multiply it out, you will get, what you get is x raised to the power x minus 2bx, okay, plus b squared. You see it there, right? That's what you will get. Notice the difference is the negative sign. Notice that negative sign here, and notice the positive sign here, because that thing is positive there, because this is negative here. So you get that, okay? We'll say x minus b times x minus b. You see that, right? Okay, you do 4. You say x times x is squared, all right? And then x times b, negative b, is minus negative bx. And then you say b times x, negative b times x, another negative bx, okay? Negative b times negative b. Then you change this sign, b squared. You simplify, what do you get? You get x squared negative 2bx. You see that? Plus b squared. That's how they got that. Let's say we'll give you a concrete example. We'll say x minus 2, okay? You can put it in this form. You can use that form, but you can just multiply it out. X minus 2 times x minus 2. Yes, it's x squared times x minus 2. X times minus 2, you get negative 2x, and then start with 2 again. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 plus 2 squared. You see that, right? Right there. So you simplify x squared minus, see that? It will be 4x plus 2 raised to power 2. You see that, right? So you can compare to that. See that? See that? See that? All right. So let's go to the next one. The third one. You may see something in that form. That exactly means this is equals to x squared minus a squared. That's what you get. You see that, right? Well, you can't see it, but that's what it boils down to. Let's multiply it out. Let's multiply it. You have x plus a times x minus a. You multiply that out, you use 4. X times x is x squared. X times minus a is minus ax. A times x is plus ax. A times minus a is minus minus a squared. You see that, right? See, this cancel that, and then you get x squared minus a squared. You see how they got that, right? Let's give you an example. Example will help you to understand. Let's say you have like I said, you see, this is 1 here, this is 1 here. It doesn't have to be 1. You could have something like this: 2x plus let's say 3, and then multiply by even you can have 3x minus let me see, 2x, to make it the same, because that has to be equals to that. You see, that's what they have there, that and that. I'm sorry. It's a little confusing. Sorry, I think I mixed it up. 2x and that. All right, and then you have a 3. No, that example is not. I don't like that example. Let's get a better example. Let's get a better example, man. You can have an example like this. I don't like that example, man. You can have let's say 2x plus something. Let's say 3. And then he repeats the other side. It has to be 2x minus 3. See? That's what we'll have there. See? You see how he repeats? So that's a perfect example there. Let's see what that comes out. 2x times 2x, you got 4x squared, alright? Okay. 2x times minus 3, you got minus negative 6x. You see that, right? And then 3, we'll start with 3. 3 times 2x, you get plus 6x. And then negative, positive 3 times negative 3, you got negative 3 raised to power 2. You see that, right? Notice that this cancel out. And then you got 4x raised to power 2 minus 3 raised to power 2. You can even write that as 2x raised to power 2, right? Minus 3. See? It's similar to that one there. You see that, right? So that's what is going on, man. Make sure you go through this, understand what is going on. Then when we solve problem, it will help you to start seeing things that normally you would not see. So this is the stuff where we need to solve a bunch of examples. Like I said, this one is 1 here, 1 in here. It doesn't have to be 1. They could give you example that say 20x plus 16. Then multiply 20x minus 16, something like that. So see, it's similar to that right there, and then it's similar to that because it's something repeated. You see, this is repeated here, and this is repeated here with a negative sign right there. See, that's all. So let's leave it there, and then we'll find some examples. Okay, let's work a couple of examples. You see the first one there. Examples. Just work example. That's how you learn how this stuff works. Okay, so you just expand that. You expand that. Is equals to. You can write it like this: x plus 4 times x plus 4. That helps you. And then x times x, you get x squared. X times 4, you get 4x. 4 times x, you get 4x again. And then 4 times 4, you get 16. You see that, right? So you simplify x squared plus 8x plus, what is that? 16, right? Yeah, 16. So you can leave it like that. You go to the next one. Again, you can expand it like this. Alright. And then you use foil. Remember, Americans call it foil. What does that word foil stand for? Alright, let me tell you what foil stands for. We'll use an example. Because I said that word, some of you may not know what it means. It's like this foil, like like the foil you use to bake something. Okay. Here's what they're saying when they say foil. This is first time. Okay, and this is O is outer time. Outer time. Okay, and then I is inner time. Inner time. And then L is last time. That's what they say, but when you use it, basically it says, well, they say times. They put S. All those T times are just S. So they said foil means right here F. Okay, first time. First times. You multiply first times, okay? Alright, like that. And then you take this one, you multiply also that one. That's outer time. They call it outer. Okay? I don't know, man. Outer time. And then they go from, you start with 5 again. You take 5, you multiply that. That's called what is that? That's inner time. Inner time or something, inner times, because they're inside. I bet you see that one is inside. That one, I don't know, man. But anyway, that's what Americans say, but I don't use that. I just say it that way, what other people say it, I don't. You just pick one, you multiply, you go. Okay? I messed up my problem. Let me clean this stuff up. You just pick one, you multiply. I show you what I mean. There's no need to remember that acronym because I think it confuses more than it helps, man. That's my opinion. Everybody got an opinion. I got my own opinion, okay? Alright, let me show you. Basically, what you're doing, you take this thing, you multiply that. And then you stay with it, you multiply that one. When you're done with it, then you take this one, you multiply that, you take that one, you multiply that. That's all. So you say x times x squared. X times 5 plus 5x. You just follow this. Whatever sign you have in there, you follow the signs, okay? So I can say the sign. Plus 5 times x. Times plus x. So you say 5x plus 5 times plus 5, you get 5 squared. You see that, right? Simplify x squared plus, see, you add those together, you get 10 x plus 5 squared. See that, right? 5 squared is 25. All right. That's all how you do it. You need to solve a lot of problems. Then once you solve a lot of problems, then you understand how this stuff works, man. That's the only way you understand how it works. You solve a bunch of problems. Okay, so let's do the next one. The next one is 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. That's what that stands for. You multiply it twice. 3x times negative half. What do you get? You get, let's write it out. 3x times negative half. See? You can write it out that way, you can see if that helps you. And then you do the other one. Negative 1 half times 3x. Okay, you can say plus negative 1 half times 3x, you see? And then negative 1 half times negative 1 half, you have that squared. You see it, right? Okay, so you simplify. What do you get? You get 9x squared. We're gonna run out of space. I'm gonna move that move it down a little bit. Alright, so we keep going. What is this thing here? We're dealing with that one. You say it becomes positive because both of them, so you multiply negative with negative, becomes 3x over 2. You see that? And it's gonna be, that thing gonna turn into negative because you have negative multiplying positive. You got 3x over 2. You see that? Plus, basically you can write it as 4 like that. Okay, you keep going. What do you get? Notice that these cancel one another. You see that? Remember, this is in this form. It's in this form here. Where is that then? It's in this form. This form here. Right there. I don't know if you noticed that. See? Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, it's in that form. You see? Right there. Okay. So that cancel out. You get 9x squared plus 1 over 4. That's it. You see that, right? Yeah, that's what you get there. I mean, I don't know what else you can get. Or did I make a mistake? Hang on a minute. I might have made a mistake. Just give me a minute. Let me check. Yes, I think I see a mistake. Watch this. Okay, let's do it all over again. 3 times 3 is 9x squared, right? And then 3 times negative 1 over 2. You see, I made a mistake right there. It's 3 times. See, I wrote 2 negative again. So let's check everything. And then negative 2 times this, you get that again right here. Okay, and then negative that and that, you get that. Okay, so if you simplify, you get, hang on a minute. What did I actually do? I don't know what I did there, man. I might have to redo that, man. So you get, this is negative that, and that's negative that. Alright, I'm glad I caught that, man. I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing, man. Alright, I'm gonna show you what that thing, the thing called foil. Let me show you basically what they're saying. That's what I've been doing, but I'll show you another way you can visualize foil, okay? Okay, so you see, you expand it like that, there you can go like this. Let's start here. You go 2x, okay, times 2x plus 1 plus 1 times 2x plus 1. That's what foil is saying. You see, don't forget this addition sign here. and then you do it. You multiply out, you go. The first one will be 2x times 2x, okay? You see, and then 2x times 1, okay? And then that plus sign here, and then you do that one like that. That's 1 times 2x plus 1 times 1. We normally don't, that's what we do, but we'll go ahead and take care of it as we go. If you simplify that, you get 4x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 1 squared. We usually don't write 1 squared. That would be 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. You see, that's what 4 is saying. We can do the same thing here. On the next problem, we'll say 3x negative 2 negative half, okay? Negative half. Okay, and then 3x negative half. See, that's what that is saying. Then you expand it using 4. Basically, what they're telling you, do 3x, okay, times 3x minus half. And then you do with that one, negative half, okay, times 3x negative half. That's what 4 is saying. You multiply it out like that. You start with this, and then you do that. Multiply this with both terms on the left. That's all. And then you simplify. What do you get? You get 3. Let me see. Okay, hang on. 3 times 3 is 9, right? You get 9x squared. 3x times that negative there, you get negative 3x over 2. You see that, right? And then you do the other side. You just put the positive sign, and then you do, if you actually multiply things out, they're negative half times that, you're gonna get negative. So let's remove that, because we don't have plenty of space. You get negative 3x over 2. And then when you do negative times negative, you get plus 1 over 4. You see it, right? And then you combine stuff. When you combine it, what do you get? You get 9x squared negative. Notice what is going on there. These two things got same denominator. So you're doing 2, well, let's say plus, you do, oh Lord, hang on a minute. You don't want to mess up, man. What are you doing? Negative 3 x negative 3x. You see that, right? You see why I'm doing it like that? And this plus 1 over 4. Because this is negative, this is negative. Okay, so you simplify, you get 9x squared plus negative, let's put negative 6x over 2 plus 1 over 4. You see that, right? Okay, so 9x negative 3x, is that, am I correct? Yeah, it's a lot of you gotta pay attention with the fraction or you mess up, man. See, I think it's correct. Go back and look. Look over here, look over here, and look over there. You see what I did? I think it's correct. Okay, so let me move this up a little bit, because I had to move it down to give more space. 2x plus 7 all squared. Okay, so we clear this one. Okay, so we're done with that. Oh, sorry. We're done with that. We're done with that. Okay. And then we'll do the next one. You see what? See, This one, the best way to tackle it is you deal with what is inside the bracket first. Bracket is squared. You deal with that first, then whatever you got, you multiply it with x. I think that's the best way to handle that one. That's the best way to handle it, you see. Okay, so we'll proceed. We'll do x. Let's do what is inside that bracket. We'll say 2x plus 7 times 2x plus 7. You see what I'm doing, right? Okay, we'll deal with this later. Let's deal with what is inside the bracket. You have x, and then it's 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Okay, 2x times 7 is plus, what is that, 14x. 7 times 2x is another 14x. 7 times 7 is 7 raised to the power 2. You see that, right? So let's simplify inside, and then before we take care of the x outside. So that's 4x squared plus 28x plus 49. 7 times 7 is 49. And then you multiply things out. What do you get? You see that x outside, you put it inside. You get 4x the raised to the power 3 plus 2x, 28, 28x raised to the power 2 plus 49 raised to the power x. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got, man. So that's what I got. You see it there, right? You just keep going slowly. You don't want to complicate the problem before you actually, expand this thing inside the bracket. Okay, so let's do the next one. Right? Let's see. We'll do the next one, and then what do we have there? Let me see. What happened to my thing? It freezes, no? Okay. We deal with what we got. Okay, notice what is going on there. That thing is similar to what we've seen before. It's similar to the one that says x negative positive, let's see, positive a times x negative a again. You remember that one? That one is, but it doesn't matter. We just go ahead and expand the stuff. You expand it, what do you get? You get 4. Let me see. 4x times 4x, you get 16x squared. And then 4x times 6, you get let me say plus 24x minus 6 times 4x, again negative 24x, and then negative 6 times 6, you get negative 36. You see that, right? Alright, so this cross that, then you get 16x squared minus 36. Notice that if you want, you can write it like 4x squared minus 6 squared. Remember this here, alright? You can write it like that if you want to, but I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So we'll move on to the next one. What is that there? You see that? Look at that carefully. That's a bunch of fractions, man. But it doesn't scare us. You see? Okay. So if you want, you can. This is where you want to expand it. That way, you don't make mistake. Expand it slowly. You can write it like they say 4. That's where the idea of 4 can help you. But you write it out. Write 4 out. It's like 5x. Okay. 5x times this thing here, 5x plus 4 over 5 plus, Actually, no, let's say negative. You do what is best for negative because we're dealing with this one now. Negative, we're taking this negative, multiplying the other one. Negative 4 over 5 times 5x plus 4 over 5. See what I did? Okay. Because I'm using that negative 4 over 5. So you simplify that. See? If it helps you do it like this. It's a 25x squared plus 5. What is that? 20x over 5 minus. What is that? 4 times 5, 20. 20x over 5 minus 16 over, let me see, hang on, 16 over 25. You see that, right? Because you gotta multiply this, multiply that, and then you multiply this and multiply that. You see that, right? Okay, I think I'm doing it right. So let's see what we got. You get 25x squared. You see that? Look at that. If you're doing it right, you know. Because this is in this form. Remember? It's in this form. X minus x plus a. Right? Remember that one? Times x minus a. That's that form. So you're doing it right, you will get the 100. This will cancel that. Okay, so you have, what did I do? Hang on a minute, man. I wanted to write 25, I wrote 2. That doesn't make sense. 25x minus 16 over 25. See that, right? I mean, there's nothing else to write, man. If you want, it makes you feel better, you can write 5x squared minus 4 over 5 squared. If that makes it, that's you see, eyeball is, that's the same thing. And I think I'm done with that, man. You see that, right? That's what that is saying, man. That's why I think I did it right. There's nothing else to write about. Let's do the next one. Okay, here are more problems to solve. You see that one there? Look at it carefully. We've done stuff like that before. You just expand. Leave the x outside until you finish with the bracket inside, okay? So you go equal to x. Let's deal with the bracket. Okay, the bracket says 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. You see that, right? Okay, that's what when we're done with that, then we'll multiply with x. You see it, right? Okay. So we deal with that. What do we get? 3x times 3x, you get 9x squared, okay? 3x times minus 1, you get minus 3x. 3x, then start with 1 minus 1. Minus 1 times 3x, you get minus 3x. I said minus, but it's negative. Negative 1 times negative 1, it becomes positive 1. So you simplify. Notice that that's the same thing as 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. You see that, right? That's it. We did that. We did it right. See right there? Oh, I'm sorry. We're not done. That's inside the bracket, man. I left out the x. We're not done. So let's put x there. We'll multiply with x. It will be equals to, we'll go from here to here, man. It will be equals to 9x cubed minus, there's something on my way, minus 6x squared plus x. You see it, right? That's what you got. You can't leave the x out. Okay, so we'll go from here all the way back to over there because of space. So we're done with that one. Let's do the next one. What is that? You expand that, you get 4x minus 3 times 4x minus 3. See that, right? You get 4x times 4x, you get 16x squared. 4x times minus 3, you get minus 12x. Okay. Alright, 3 minus 3 times 4x, you get minus 12x again. Minus 3 times 3, you get plus 9, okay? You simplify that, what do you get? You get 16x squared minus 24x plus 9. You see it, right? We did that right. So that's how you do it, man. Okay, so we keep moving on. See that one there? That one is 9x minus 4 times 9x minus 4. Okay, yeah, I think it's like this one. It's like let me see. Well, not quite. Yeah, it's similar to if you eyeball it, but it will multiply it. It doesn't really matter. It's similar to what is that? X plus no. It's similar to this one. X minus A or B. You can say minus B raised to power 2. You see, it's similar to that. See, because here there's 1, but over here there is 9, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so we'll knock that out. What do you get? You get, let me see, 9x times 9x, right? Alright, that's 81x squared. 9x times you take 9x, you multiply, because you gotta go systematically. 9x times 4. What do you get? You get that's actually minus 4. 9x times minus 4, you get negative 36x. The same thing here. You do that to that, you get negative 36x. And then you do negative 4 times negative 4, you get 16 plus 16. Okay? So you simplify that, what do you get? You get 81x squared negative, what is that? 72x plus 16. You see it? I don't think we can go further. There is no x outside. I think we're done with that. That's all we can do. There's nothing else to be done. So we'll move on to the next one. Okay, look at the next one there. Well, instead of I'm sure A and B are they can be variable. I don't know what kind of problem, but we leave it the way it is. Okay, so we'll multiply. We just use what we know. We know that 4a plus 5b, you multiply it again, 4a plus 5b, okay? It's okay. We'll keep going. 4a times 4a, you get 16a squared, okay? 4a times 5b, you get 20ab, right? Okay. And then keep going, you start with that one. 5b times 4a is the same thing. You're gonna get 20ab, like that one, plus 20ab, okay? And then 5b times 5b, you're gonna get 25b squared. Simplify 16a squared plus, look at that, see, you add those together, you get 40ab. It's like you're adding 20 oranges to 20 oranges, okay? and then 25b squared. See, I don't think we can simplify anymore. So we keep going. It's nothing to be scared of. They just made it a little bit confusing, that's all. So let's go to the next one. Let me see, what is okay, right here, we got another one here. It's a little fraction, so we expand. It's nothing to be scared. We expand this like the way we normally do. Half x plus 1/3 times half x plus 1/3, okay? Keep going. What do you get there? Notice what you get there. Let's use we can use the expanded FOIL. Remember they call it FOIL. We'll go ahead and expand the FOIL. So we do it like this. 1/2x times 1/2x plus 1/3 plus 1/3x times 1/2x plus 1/3. See what I did, right? That way you just multiply things out. That is 1/4x squared plus let me see, plus that's 1/6x plus 1/6x plus 1/9. You see it, right? So you combine like terms. 1/4x plus, you see, these are like terms, you see? So you can write that as let me show you a trick. If you don't see it, I see it, but if you don't see it, write it like this: x/6 plus x/6. You see that, right? So you combine it, it's like, let me show you, it's like 6/2x. You see it, right? Plus 1/9. So you simplify, you get 1/4x plus x/3 plus 1/9. That's what I got, man. That's what I got. Did I make mistake? I don't think so. I think we did everything right. I dropped, yeah, I made a mistake. I dropped this. I dropped off that. Just put it back. Put it back, man. We'll put it back. That's all. I don't know how I dropped that off. You see, I can make silly mistakes like that. You gotta look back. See? If you look back from here, you go up looking back. You look back, you see, I don't know what, there's no reason to drop that off. So, yeah, you gotta pay attention. Anyway, so let's continue. Let's continue what you're doing. We'll go to the next one. What is that right here? Let me see. That one is the same thing as we've been doing. You leave x outside, you deal with the other one. 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. We'll leave the x outside and deal with what is inside that big bracket. Don't drop off x like I did before. We'll get 9x squared minus 3x, and then another minus 3x, and then plus 1. You see that, right? So you can simplify that before you get rid of the bracket. You get x, 9x squared minus 6x plus 1. And then now we get rid of the bracket. We get 9x cubed minus 6x squared plus x. You see that? They were done. That's what we're looking for, man. I think we did it right. We didn't make any mistakes. Okay, so we'll continue to the next one. What is the next one? right there. The next one, they made it a little bit. You know, that's nothing to be scared of. You see, they have 3x outside the main thing we're doing. So you go like this, 3x, leave 3x outside and deal with the bracket. 4x plus 1 times 4x plus 1. You see that, right? Okay, you do. Keep going. Let's come down here. Keep 3x out. You say 4x times 4x, you get 16x squared. 4x times 1, you get 4x, okay? And then 1 times 4x, you get 4x. And then 1 times 1, you get 1. Okay, so you simplify before you remove the bracket. 16x squared. Okay, 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. Now you remove the bracket. What do you get? You gotta take 16 multiply. You gotta take everything inside that bracket and multiply it with 3x. That's all. So you get 48. Sorry. That's how I drop off something. 48x cubed plus 3 times 8 is 24. Then x squared plus 3x. You see, right? We're done. I don't see anything you can combine. Basically, we're done with that. We're done with that. Then we're gonna move on to something else. Okay, let's do more examples. See that one there? You know, I want to pick different examples. That way you see how this stuff is done. You see, what happens is you have to realize when you do calculus, right? You know, they say calculus 1, 2, 3. Those are the highest form of math. Well, not the highest form, but they say those are the useful mathematics. In fact, there's an opinion that they say calculus 1 and calculus 2 are the useful. Actually, they say calculus is the useful math. Everything else is abstraction, unnecessary abstraction. You know, so, but anyway, problems like this will help you when you get to calculus. It will help you when you see something like this, you'll be able to resolve it. Because you see, calculus, once you use the rules of calculus and apply like differentiation, you differentiate. After that, the rest of the stuff, it will be something like this. It will be algebra. Or when you integrate, right? Once you integrate something and done with the integration, the rest of the stuff is algebra. You should be able to handle the algebra. That's why this kind of algebra will help you. You just study carefully, you know, then when you get to calculus, whatever you make there, you can handle it. So let's knock this one out. What does that say? It looks like the same thing we were saying before. We'll just, you know, don't let me show you. This looks like this. It looks like -1 is in front of that, like that. So don't let that fool you, man. That's all that looks like. It's like when you have -x or x in front of something like that. So you leave that -1 in front and handle the inside thing. The thing inside bracket. When you're done, you combine the rest of it, okay? So we leave -1 outside. We'll say 4x times 4x. Remember you have 4 is 16x squared, right? Actually, no, let me expand it. It's okay. I go ahead and expand it. That way, it helps you see what I'm doing. It's 4x minus 2 times 4x minus 2, like that. That's all we're dealing with. So minus 1. Okay, you remove the brackets. Inside the brackets, actually it goes like that. And then what do you do? 16x squared minus 8x. Okay, and then another minus 8x. Okay, then plus 4. Okay, so you simplify stuff inside bracket first. what do you get? You get 16x squared minus 16x plus 4. You see that, right? Then you remove the bracket. Once you remove the bracket, what you have, negative 16x squared plus 16x negative 4. That's all. That's all you get there, man. I don't think we left anything behind. We left nobody behind. That's correct. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. The next one is actually, let me see. Well, we've done it before. We just simplified that. We just simplified that. You see, they switched it around. It looks like, see, remember, it looks like this, x. Let me use a red pen, that way you can see. It looks like this. Remember that thing we discussed? It looks like x negative a, no, positive a first, and then x negative a. That's what it looks like. But what they did, they switched it around. They turned this like this. They switched it to negative a plus x times let me see, a plus x. See what they did? They switched it around. So don't let that fool you. That's what I said. Just multiply things out. Keep going. Okay, so let's do it. Okay. So let's use expanded form. Whenever you have fraction, use expanded form. You can say 3 over 4 multiply 3 over 4 plus x, okay? And then you can say positive, and then you say negative x multiply 3 over 4 plus x, like that. You see what I did, right? Then you multiply things out. So this will be 9 over 16 plus 3 over 4x plus, well, let's remove the, we'll start with the negative 3 over 4x, and then negative x squared. You see that, right? And then you keep simplifying. You get 9 over 16. I should have another constant somewhere. What happened? I think I messed up somewhere. This turns down, and then this turns down. Hang on a minute. Did I drop off constant somewhere? Shouldn't I have two constants? No, it's okay. I think we're doing good. All right. So that's, you combine these two here. Notice that they will cancel out. And then you get negative x squared. Notice that you can write this as negative x squared plus 9 over 16. 9 cannot go, 9 cannot go, we see divide 3, 2, no. So that's the solution there. You leave it like that. You know, leave it like that. Everything should be fine if you leave it like that. Did I jumble things up? It's okay. You just leave it like that if you want to. Okay? You can leave it like this or you can leave it like that. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. You know, so let's move on to the next one. Let me conserve space and move that up. Okay, see the next one right there? So that one, basically what they're doing is they increase the, we didn't have any definition initially, but notice that they increase the exponent, that's all. But if you look at it carefully, see, that's why we had to do the exponent first. If you look at it carefully, there's nothing there to be scared of. Yeah, notice something. Notice that you can write that as, you can write that as, you have x plus 1 squared, times the other one, the extra one they put in there, x plus 1. See? Basically, see that, right? See, that's why knowing about the exponent is good. You can write it like that. Continue. You can even write it like it, x plus 1, x plus 1, x plus 1. See? You see, it's nothing wrong with writing it like that. So then you take 2 at a time. You can take these 2 at a time and then you deal with this one later. So let's do that. Let's take x plus 1 times x plus 1. And then we'll deal, I put it like that, we'll deal with the other one. It doesn't matter which one you left behind, but we'll deal with it later. We'll deal with this first. What do you get? X times, see that x times x, what do you get? X times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. And then 1 times x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. See? Don't forget the 1 outside. So you simplify the stuff inside. What do you get? You get x squared plus 2x plus 1. And plus 1. And then you multiply with the stuff outside, okay? I don't know why I did that. X plus 1. You just multiply, just continue what we did before. So you say x times the bracket, the whole thing inside the bracket, you get x raised to the power 3 plus 2x raised to the power 2 plus x. And then you add 1 times the whole thing in the bracket, you get that because it's multiplying with 1. Okay, you simplify, you get, you gotta combine, let me see, you combine this and that, you combine this and that, and then you get x raised to the power 3 plus 4x raised to the power 2 plus 2, let me see. No, that's a mistake. Just let's back up. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. So you have 3x raised to the power 3, and then you combine. That's 3x raised to the power 2 plus 3x plus 1. No, did I drop? No, that's good. I think that's all we're looking for there. You know, that one is a little confusing. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing, and then you get it. You see that, right? I think we did that right. That's it. You know, sorry about that. I had to redo it. I made a mistake, and then I discovered the mistake. I had to redo that, but, you know, now we're on the right track. So let's move on to the next one. So what is the next one? The next one is that one there. Let's do it. What does it say? Look at it carefully. It says, I chose this carefully because you see what they're doing there. Even though we didn't technically, I mean, there are ways you can do this, but it's okay. The way we're doing it is the best way. Notice that is x plus 3 raised to the power 2 times x plus 3. See that, right? Okay. Now notice that you do what you can write it like this: x plus 3 times x plus 3, and then x plus 3. You see? So if you want, you can do this first and then catch up with the other one. You see that, right? I mean, we can do it that way. It doesn't hurt anything. So we did this first. We'll have x times x squared. Sorry about that. We'll have 3x, and then we'll have another 3x, and then we'll have 9. Okay, all that. Don't forget what we left outside. We'll leave nobody behind. And then we'll have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay, we'll multiply with x plus 3. That's all. So what do we have? We'll have x raised to the power 3 plus 6x squared plus 9x plus 3x raised to the power 2 plus 18x plus 27. You see that, right? See what I just did? Now you combine the terms. Okay, you combine the terms. You combine the terms now, and then you'll be done. Okay, we're gonna be careful because we don't want to run out of space. See, this is by itself. We'll write down raised to the power 3. This one combines with that one, and this one combines with that one, and this one by itself right there. Okay, so we'll move on. We just do it. Plus, what is that? 9x raised to the power 2 plus, what is that? 27, right? 27. Let me see. Yeah, 27x plus 27. I think that's it. I don't think we made any mistakes. We took care of that slowly, and we got that right. I think let me see again. I think we didn't drop off anything. I don't see anything we dropped off. Yeah, we had to combine everything, so we're done with that one. So we'll move on. We'll move on to the next one. This one, I chose this because you see, it's a little bit complicated. Well, it's not complicated. They just put a bunch of numbers there, so you gotta deal with a bunch of numbers, man. So the best way to attack this is to do the same thing we've been doing. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna isolate this here. We'll isolate it, right? Yeah, let's isolate it. We'll isolate that, then we'll deal with this. 20x plus 20. Okay. 20x minus 20. We deal with that inside. We deal with it, and then we'll come back and use this to multiply everything. Okay. So we say 20x. We keep going. 1/200. 20x times 20x. That's a lot of multiplying, man. 20 times 20. What is that? All right, that's 400x. X squared. Okay, and then we'll do 20x times minus 20. It will be negative. It will be negative 20. 400. Sorry, 400x. Okay, and then we'll repeat the process again. 20x times 20 times 20x. Okay, it will be 400x, and then 20 times minus 20, negative 20, will be negative 400. You see that, right? I hope I did it right. Okay, so you take that, you multiply that, you get that. And you take this one, you multiply that. You take that, you multiply that, you get that. You take that again, you multiply, this time you multiply this. And then actually, I did it right. See, x is there. And then after that, you do the other one. You take this one here, then you multiply this one here, you get that. You take that again, you multiply that, and then you get that. You see that, right? So now let's combine, so you want to make sure you did it right. So it's negative 1 over 200. We're going to combine what is inside the bracket. What is that? Okay, we know that 400x will stay by itself. We'll combine this and that. Notice that they cancel each other. That cancel out. Okay. They cancel each other out. So that's good. We don't have to, anything cancel that is good for us. We don't have to worry about that. Once we cancel it out, it's gone. Okay. And then we'll come back and say it's minus 400. Okay. Alright, so then we'll use that thing outside and start multiplying. I'll start dividing because, well, it's multiplication. We'll multiply. Notice this. It's going to be negative 400x squared over 200. You see that? And then it becomes positive 400 over 200. You notice that? See, these cross themselves out. So it will be negative 4 over 2. Actually, let's do it instead of wasting time. 2 gonna cross 4, you get 2. So negative 2x plus this cross that, plus positive 2. You see that, right? That's what we're doing there. That's what is going on there. That's what we'll get. That's what we're gonna get, man. You're not gonna get more than that. I think we did it right. If you look at it, I took my time to make sure we did the multiplication right. We did it right. So we're done with that. We'll move on to the next one. Let's do this. Let's say this is done. Okay. All right. Okay, let's deal with this one here. Notice that even though we didn't do anything like that when I did the discussion of concept, but and so what? Notice that you can write that one as 4x minus 1 squared times 4x minus 1 squared. You see that, right? So if you don't see that, remember that's why we did that's why we had to do the exponent first. Check this out. You can represent, see what is inside that bracket. If you call it A, represent what is inside that bracket with A. So you got A squared here, and then when you multiply A squared plus A squared, you get A raised to the power 2 plus 2, which is A raised to the power 4. And then if you replace A with what is inside the bracket, you get that. Okay, so, but don't worry about that. I'm just showing you that the exponent, knowing the exponent is good. Because it helps you see stuff you're doing. That way you know you're not making mistakes, okay? Now, there are many ways we can tackle this, but notice that things will repeat. Okay? Notice that I can write that as 4x negative 1 times 4x negative 1. That's negative 1 there. Okay, and then that's for that one. And then what of this one? Then we can write 4x minus 1 times 4x minus 1. You see? So, but you see, whatever we do here, we repeat there. So we'll do this one, and then whatever we got here, we'll substitute there. We'll substitute to this one. So let's break it into 2 parts. We'll do this part first. We'll do 4x, right, times 4x. You get, 4x times 4x. What is that? We don't want to take too much space. It's 16x squared, right? And then 4x times negative 1. You get negative 4x. You see that, right? We don't want to leave anything behind. And then we repeat with 1. Negative 1 times 4x, you get negative 4x. Okay? And then negative 1 times negative 1, you get plus 1. Right? You see that, right? And then don't forget what we left outside. We left this outside. 4x minus 1 times 4x minus 1. That's still outside. We didn't touch that yet. So we'll simplify. Let's simplify that. We'll get 16x raised to the power 2 minus 8x. Okay, plus 1. Notice that. That's what we got there. Notice if we do the same thing here, we're gonna get the same thing. We're gonna get 16x minus 8x plus 1. You see that, right? Because they're the same thing. This is the same thing as that. Same thing as that. Alright, so there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We just use what we know. So now we're gonna do a long multiplication, man. We're gonna do a long multiplication. This, we need more space. So just let me pause it and move the things down. Okay, I created more space. Notice this. Notice there are 3 times inside each bracket. So what we need to do, if it helps you to see, notice what is going on there. We'll have to take each term and multiply the other way. Actually, it's not that difficult. See, we'll have to take that and multiply everything. Then we'll take that, we'll multiply everything. We'll take that, we'll multiply everything. You see that, right? All right. So we'll start with 16. Okay. I hope you see what I'm saying. You know, if you like, but we don't have space. We could do expanded, what do you call that? Expanded foil, but we don't have a lot of space. So to conserve space, we're not gonna do that. Okay? Because if I do that, I run out of space. You see what I'm saying? So we do 16x squared times 16x squared. We get 256x to the power 4. Okay, and then we'll take 16x, we'll multiply 8x. You see that, right? Make sure you're seeing that, man. And then we'll get 16x squared multiply negative 8x. So don't forget that it will be negative 128 x raised to the power 3. You see that, right? Excuse me. And then we keep going. We take 16x squared multiply with 1. You get plus 16x raised to the power 2. You see that, right? Okay. So this is just one time, man. Because we got 3 times. We just use that. Now we gotta use that. Don't forget. Let me see. We'll finish with that. Now we gotta start with this. We gotta start with this. Let me use a different color. And then we'll say, yeah, you see that, right? Yeah, make sure you see what is going on. Now we're gonna use it's negative 8x. Okay, we're gonna use that to multiply everything else. Alright. So negative 8x times 16x squared. You're gonna get, I'm gonna write it here with a different color. You're gonna get negative 128 x to the power 3. Alright. And then we'll say negative 8x times negative 8x. You see that, right? You see that? Make sure you're seeing what I'm doing. Then you're gonna have positive, what is that, 64x squared. You see that, right? Then you get negative x times 1. You're going to have negative, let me see, negative 8x. So we're done with that. So let's do the other one. We got one left. So one got positive sign in front of it. So we're going to have, it's going to be plus, because that will go run through here too. You're going to be plus 16x squared minus 8x plus 1. You see it, right? So we're going to add all this together. We're going to, let me see. Just give me a minute. Let me move this over here. I move this over here. So we'll have to basically, you have to basically add this together right here. We're going to add all this together. See that box? We'll add all of it together, see? So, but we'll add a lifetime to lifetime. Okay, so it's not that difficult if you look at it carefully. So we're gonna have, let me see. Look at it carefully. We'll have 256 x to the power 4. And then what is that? We'll add that. Something cancel out. Let me see. Really nothing is canceling now. So we'll add that. We'll add this to that. Right? Okay. What is that? It's negative. 8 times 8 is 16. And then 2. I'm sorry, not 8 times 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then you have 5. And then it's 2. Okay, 256 x raised to the power 3. You see that, right? Okay. And then we got that one done. And then we'll have to add this, that, and that. You see it, right? Make sure you see what I'm doing. Because once we add that meticulously, we should come out right. But we gotta pay attention to what we're doing, okay? So you add those 3 times, what do you get? Let me see. You add those, you get plus, let me see, plus 1, 2, 3, plus 96x squared, okay? And then the one in the turn is that one. We'll add it, we'll get negative 16x. And then 1 is left to plus 1. Alright, so they see that's what we're doing there. So let's keep going. What do we get? We get 256x raised to the power 4 minus 256. I hope it's correct. X raised to the power 3 plus 96x raised to the power 2 minus 16x plus 1. Okay. I mean, if we did man, that was a long one, man. If we did everything right, that's what that's supposed to look like, man. You see that? That was a long one. I think we did it right. Let me look, see if we made it dropped off something. I hope you just seen what I did. I don't think we dropped off anything, okay? So I know we did that part right. Then we'll add this. That one, there's nothing to add to it. We'll add this and that. And then we'll add this and that and that. And then we'll add this and that. And then that's by itself. So I think we did it right. That's it. That one is a long one, but we did it right. So you gotta take things carefully. That way you don't confuse things and make mistake, okay? Alright, I will have another long one towards the end, but let's do this one that is a little bit, not too much. So we'll do that first. So basically this one here, this one here says, you got something outside, then you got something inside. You have to isolate stuff, that's all. And then when you come done with the other one, you come back. So let's do it like this. We isolate 3x, we'll leave it there, and then we'll do x plus 2 times x plus 2, okay, times x plus 2. That's all. Okay. So we'll take things one at a time. We'll do that equal to 3x. We'll leave 3x there. We'll do, what did I do? Hang on a minute. They're saying, you don't. No, it's correct. It's correct. I thought something wrong. No, it's correct. So it's okay. It's not that bad. So we do x times, we'll do this first. X times x, you get x squared. X times 2, you get 2x, right? Yeah? And then start with 2. 2 times x, you get 2x. 2 times 2, you get 4. You see that, right? So we still got x plus 2 outside. Okay, so we keep going. We also have this one outside. We'll isolate it and leave it there. Okay, this is actually like that. Okay. So let's simplify this. We'll simplify, we get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Alright. X plus 2. Okay. So we're gonna do that first. So we'll do 3x. We'll do that first. We'll start with x. X times x squared, we get x raised to the power 3. X times 4x, we get plus 4x squared. X times 4, you get 4x. Alright. And then we also do 2. We start using 2. 2 times x squared, we get 2x squared. 2 times 4x, you get plus 8x. 2 times 4, you get, let me see, you get 8. You see that, right? And then we'll keep going. Don't forget this thing outside. We'll still leave it there. Let's simplify inside. We have x raised to the power 3. These combined with that, we get 6x raised to the power 2. This combines with that, we get 12x, okay? Plus, and then we'll have this left there, say 8. So we multiply out. What do we get? We'll get 3x raised to the power 4. Alright? Plus 18x raised to the power 3 plus 36x raised to the power 2 plus 24x raised to the power 2. No, raised to, it's just no power, just power 1 actually. Raised to the power 1, sorry. So you can see that, right? So let's simplify that a little bit. We'll get 3x. I think there's nothing to simplify. Plus 18x raised to the power 3 plus 36x raised to the power 2 plus 24x 24x, So, but anyway, that's it right there. I think we did it right. If we messed up, I don't know how we messed up. What is that? Yeah, we did that one right. So we did it right. So we'll move on to the next one. We'll move on to the next one. We did that perfectly right. All right. See the next one. The next one is there. It's like something we did before. It's actually not that difficult, So I think there's let me see. Notice something though. That's something I noticed with these problems, man. Notice that one. Notice that it can be written like this. Can't it be written like this? X plus y, right? X plus y. Let me see. Can we write this like this? Minus y, and then in a bracket 2 like that. Yes, we can. That's what we learn from exponents, right? Because by exponent you can distribute the exponent to those two things. You can distribute here, distribute here. Yes. So we can do that. So if we can do that, remember the rule of exponent. If you have hang on a minute, let me see. Yeah, remember that rule right there? Yeah, you can do that. If you have two things inside bracket, both of them multiply each other and you raise to that power, you can distribute it like that. Let me give you an example. Let's say we have 2 here and we have 3 here. They're multiplying each other. Okay? Now you raise it to power 2. I'm saying you can write it 2 raised to power 2 times 3 raised to power 2. Let's check. Let's see if this is equals to that. 2 times 3 is 6 raised to power 2. Is it equal to 4 times what is that? 4 times 9? Yeah. So what is 6 times 6 raised to power 2 is 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, right? What is 4 times 9? You see what I'm saying? 4 times 9 is 36. So, see, my memory is good. I remember that thing. So, if that's the case, then we can write that like that. And then we'll multiply the stuff inside that big bracket. That's big bracket right there. We'll multiply it out. What do we get? We get x times x squared. X times y, it will be minus xy. Then y times x, it will be plus xy. And then y times negative y will be negative y squared, right? This cancel that, you get. It will, don't forget, we got 2 over there. I mean, we got this in the exponent out there, right? Okay, so it will be x raised to power 2 minus y raised to power 2 all in exponent 2. You see that, right? We can write it like that. So if that's the case, we're not done. We can then say x raised to power 2 minus y raised to power 2 times x. Let's see, x raised to power 2 minus y, like that. See? Right? So we keep going. What is that? X times x raised to power 2 times x raised to power 2. You got x raised to power 4. X raised to power 2 times y raised to power 2. It becomes minus x raised to power 2 y raised to power 2. Then you also do with y. You're gonna get x raised to power 2 y raised to power y raised to the power 2, and then negative y raised to the power 2 multiply negative y raised to the power 2, you get y raised to the power 4. Notice, no, nothing cancels that. Alright, so you get x raised to the power 4 minus 2x raised to the power 2 raised to the power 2 plus y raised to the power 4. I think that's the answer. We did it right. Do you see that? So as you do more problem, you learn more stuff, okay? So we did that one right. Let's go to the next one. We'll go to the next one and we'll say we can probably do the same thing. You see the same trend, you remember? That's the same thing we did there, man. See the same thing we did here. You see the same problem, but you see that? See the same problem. See? So we can write that based on what we did before. We can put the exponent out. We'll say x plus 2, alright, times x minus 2. All of them put the exponent out like that. So we'll take care of that. We'll put the exponent back. So we'll go x times x squared, x times minus 2, we got 2 minus 2x, right? Let me see. Yeah. And then we'll start with 2. 2 times x plus 2x. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. All that thing raised to the power 2. See that, right? So we keep going. X raised to the power 2. This cancels that. Minus 2 raised to the power 2. This one here. All that stuff raised to the power 2. So we do the same thing we did previously. Is x raised to the power 2 minus, let's say 4 times x raised to the power 2 minus 4. They multiply out like that. And then we multiply things out. What do we get? X raised to the power 2 times x raised to the power 2 will be x raised to the power 4. X raised to the power 2 times negative 4. You get negative 4x raised to the power 2. Alright, see that? And then we'll start with negative 4. Negative 4 times x raised to the power 2. You get negative 4 raised to the power 2, right? Like that. And then negative 4 times negative 4, you get 16 plus 16, you see? So you simplify, you get that. Negative, what is that? It's 8x raised to the power 2 plus 16. You see it, right? It cannot be more than that, man. It cannot be more than that. So we took care of that. All these problems, they teach you something. Be patient, you keep going, and then you get it done. Alright, we're gonna end with two involved problems with a high exponent, okay? So I'll do this one, and then we'll do that one, and then we'll end this thing. Okay, so let's do this one. This is let's see what is going on. You can break it. Notice that you can break it up like this: 2x plus 5y, like that, and then 2x plus 5y, like that. Okay, notice that we can use our trick. We can try to use the trick. Well, not a trick, exponent rule. Notice you can write this as this: 2x plus 5y, okay, like that. 2x plus 5y, all of them raised to power 2. see, so we can deal with that and then put the exponent back. I don't know what that would do. Well, let's do it. I don't know if it's better to do it that way, but let's try that and see what happens. So we start multiplying inside the bracket. We get 2x. We get 2x times 2x. You get 4x, right? Squared. And then you do 2x times 5y. You get plus 10xy, right? And then you're done with 2. You start multiplying with 5. You say 5y times 2x. You get 10xy. And then you say 5y times 5y. You get 25y squared. You see that, right? Okay, don't forget what we have outside the bracket. We got that 2 there. Okay, so let's simplify and see what happens. We'll say 4x raised to the power 2 plus, what is that? 20x. Hang on a minute, I gotta clean that out. 20xy, xy, right? This and that. Plus 25y, squared, right? Yeah, 25y squared. Let's make it clean, that way we can see. All that raised to the power 2. Right? So basically what that means, you take 4x squared plus 20xy plus 25y squared. You multiply with another one of that. 4x like that. 20xy plus 25y squared like that. That's all that means, man. So basically you take each over here and you multiply that one by one. Alright, so let's start with 4x. Let's start with 4x squared. Okay, so we'll start with 4x squared. We get 4 times 4 is 16x raised to the power 4. And then we'll do 4x squared times 20xy. That would be 80, right? 80x raised to the power 3 and then y. You see that, right? Okay. We'll keep going. That would be 4 times 25, it would be 100, right? And then x raised to the power 2 and y raised to the power 2. You see that, right? That's the first one. That's the first one right here. It goes with, that's multiplying, it's multiplying that one with 4x. Okay, 4x that. So we'll do, the next one we're going to do is 20x that. We're going to multiply the whole thing with that. Okay. So we say plus 20xy. Now we're going to be careful here. If we're not careful, we're going to end up making a mistake, man. And then all our work will be in vain. So we'll have to take it gently. That way we don't make mistake. Take it gently, man, with Christmas spirit. We're not in a hurry. We'll calm down. Okay, so with the 20xy times that times that, right? So 4 times 20, what is that? It's 80. So we get 80. Look at the variables. It will be x raised to power 3 and then y plus, and then we'll do 20xy times 20xy. You see that, right? Okay, 20 times 20, what do you get? You get 400. That's 400. Alright. We're multiplying that with that. What do we get? We get 400x squared y squared. You see that, right? Okay. So we're gonna get three times with each multiplication. 20xy times 25y squared. You see that, right? 20 times 25, what do you get? You get 500. That would be 500. What are the variables? What are the variables? You're going to have x, y raised to power 3. You see that, right? Okay, so now the next multiplication we need to do, multiply with 25y raised to power 2. Okay, so it's going to be plus. So we take that, we multiply all that again. You see that, right? 25 times 4 is what? It's 100. So it's gonna be 100. What are the variables there? It's x squared and then y squared. You see that, right? Plus. So you have to be just patient and systematic, and then you should be fine. Then you do 25y squared multiply that one. What do you get? You get 25 times 20. What is that? That's 500. 500. What are the variables? The variables is x and then y raised to power 3 plus 25y squared multiply 25y squared. You see that? 25 times 25, what do you get? You get 625. Y raised to power 4 is here, right? So we gotta add all that together. We gotta add all this together. All that. You see, right? So the good news is, look at it. Look at the powers. So we can say 16x raised to power 4. There's nothing to add it to. And then we can say at the other end 625 y raised to power 4. There's nothing to add it to. So we just have to add the other ones. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Where is another one? Raised to power 3. That's it. That's x raised to power 3 multiplied by y. There are only 2 of them. You see? So we add that. What do we get? We get 80 plus 86, 160. X raised to power 3, then y. You see that, right? What is the next one you can pick on? Pick on this one. See the variable here. See the variable here. See the variable here, right? Okay, what is that? 100, 400, and 100. That's 600, right? That's 600. See, 600 x raised to power 2, y raised to power 2. Alright? Is there another one before that one over there? Let me see here. This one and that one are the same. So, what is that there? Okay, that's 1,000. 1,000. Let me make space, man. I think I squeezed it out. 1,000. Let's see. I think I can squeeze it at x, y raised to power 3. See right there. This is actually. Let me make a little space. That way, somebody can read that thing. What is that? 625 y raised to power 4. Let's clean that out here. You see that, right? Make more space. 625 y raised to power 4. And then we need to squeeze that one. Make sure somebody can read it. Don't have to squeeze it so small. It's 1,000. 1,000 x, y. X is raised to power 1, y raised to power 3. See it? And then plus right here. So that's what is going on there. See it? Okay. So basically we got that equals to that. Can we simplify anything more? If you like, man, I think we're done. I don't see anything you're gonna simplify more, man. So I think we did everything right. Let's see. I'm telling you, man. I think we did everything right. So I don't see where we messed up. So we did that right. So we're done with that one, bro. Okay. You see the next one? It's another long thing there. So, but we can. Let me see. We can do it the way we've been doing, and we can do it different way. You know what? I do it both ways. Let's do it both ways. So let me show you both ways we're gonna do. This is actually fun, but I want you guys to understand how to do this carefully. Let me. What I did. Well, it's okay. So you can do it this way. 3x minus 2t. Okay, like that, and then 3x minus 2t, like that. We didn't do anything wrong. And then we can also write it like this: 3x minus 2t raised to power. I'm sorry, no, not like that. Sorry, that's something I want to do. Times 3x minus 2t all raised to power 2. Just take out the power out. That's one way. Okay, let's say this is method A. Okay, right? Actually, this is method A. Let's call this method A. This is just me now thinking out loud, and this is method B. Okay. So we're gonna do it both ways. This is the this is the last one I will do, and then we'll move on to something else. Okay, maybe we'll end it here. Now check this out. Let's do method A first. Method A involves, let's say A. I do it that way. It involves 3x minus 2t squared, 3x minus 2t squared. So what I'm gonna do, notice they both the same thing. Alright, so basically what I'm gonna do it like this: 3x minus 2t times 3x minus 2t. See that, right? And then I'm gonna leave this one outside: 3x minus 2t squared. Okay, I'm sorry, let me make sure I'm doing my bracket right. This is, yeah, so I'm gonna do this first. Whatever I get from here will repeat here. Just watch this. I'm not doing anything illegal, I'm doing it right. Watch this. Let's proceed. 3x times 3x, what do you get? You get 6. No. 3 times 3 is 9, right? We don't want to make mistake from the beginning. 9x squared, right? And then you say, what is the next thing you say? You say 3x times negative 2t. You get negative, what is that? Negative 6xt. You see that, right? Okay. So we want to know which one is better. So we'll slug it out. And then we'll also do, we'll start with 2. We did negative 2t. Negative 2t times 3x. We'll get negative 6xt. Alright? And then we'll say negative 2t times negative 2t. we get positive 4t squared, right? You see that, right? Don't forget this is by itself, and there is something that we left outside. We left that outside, okay? Don't forget that. Okay. So we'll simplify we simplify this one, okay? We have negative, 9x raised to the power 2 negative 12xt plus 4t squared. You see that, right? And then that's 3x negative 2t, like that. Don't forget the exponent. You see that, right? Okay, now that we got stuff squared out like that, the idea is whatever you get here will be there too. So since we got 9x raised to the power 2 negative 12xt plus 4t squared, right? That's the same thing we're gonna get from here. So we'll repeat that 9x raised to the power 2 negative 12xt plus 4t squared. You see that? So we're gonna multiply all that together. Welcome aboard, man. But again, it's nothing to be scared. So the idea is, you take this, you multiply all that. You take this, you multiply all that. You take that, you multiply all that, and you add them up, observing the signs of the things that are multiplying, okay? So let's do it. Let's do it now. We do 9x multiply all that. So let me see. Let's write 9x squared, and then we're gonna do negative 12xt, and then we're gonna do, what is the other one? 4t squared. You see that, right? So those are the 10 things we're gonna use to multiply that side. So let's do it. Okay, 9x squared multiplied that side. What do you get? You get it's gonna be a lot of work, man, but we can do it, man. We're not scared. We're not scared of this thing, man. We ain't scared of no ghosts, man. So 9 times 9 is what? 81. So it's good. You're gonna get, let's see, it's gonna be 81x raised to the power 4. You see that, right? And then 9x raised to the power 2 times 12xt. You see that? See what we're doing, right? 9 times 12 is 108. So it's gonna be negative, yes, because 12xt is negative. It's gonna be negative 108. Negative 108. Then don't forget you have 9x squared. You're gonna have 108x raised to the power 3t. Okay, see? So 9xt times 4t squared. You see that, right? See what we're doing, right? Make sure you understand what we're doing. That way nothing comes to you as a surprise. So we're gonna have, it's gonna be positive. It's gonna be 36. 9 times 4 is 36, and then we'll have x squared t squared. You see that, right? So we're gonna add that to that and to that. So but let's do those first. Negative 12xt multiply, you multiply all that out. Okay, 12 times 9 is 108 again, and it's gonna be negative 108, right? And then it's x raised to power, let me see, x raised to power 3. See that, right? And then t. Okay, and then negative 12xt multiply negative 12xt. And that's what I think it's 144, right? So you got, it's gonna turn everything into positive because two negatives are multiplying. 144. And now notice the variable x raised to the power 2 t raised to the power 2. You see that, right? Make sure you see what that is through. And then negative negative 12xt multiply 4t squared is gonna be negative, okay? So you see 12 multiply 4, so it's gonna be 48, negative 48. What are the variables? Is x t raised to power 3. You see that, right? Okay, we'll do the next one. All right, what is 4 times 9? So we're taking that, we're multiplying all that again. Okay, 4 times 9 is 36. It's gonna be positive. Oh, let me see, we don't want to mess up. Positive 36. Look at the variables, x squared t squared, okay? And then we take that, we multiply negative 12xt, then it's gonna be negative. You see that, right? 12 times 4, what do you got? It's 48, negative 48. What are the variables? It's x t raised to power 3. You see that, right? Okay, so 4t squared times 4t squared. You see that, right? We know that 4 times 4 is 16. So it's going to be positive. It's going to be 16. And then t raised to power 4. You see that? So we're going to add all that, man. We're going to add all that. You add that. Now you got to be careful. You got to look at the exponents. Exponents should guide you. So let's see what we're adding. Basically, this is a lone, and this is a lone. Where is the other one? There's one that has to be a lone right here. This is a lone. So we'll move them. We'll just bring them down. We'll say 81x raised to the power 4. And then the other one at the extreme, 16t raised to the power 4. You see, they both are alone. So in between, let me see. See, this here and that here has the same. Is there another one? X raised to the power 3 times t. X raised to the power 3. No, those are the only two we have. What is that? They're both negative. So it's negative 2. What is that? 8 plus 8 is 16. You write 6. And then, see right here, 216x raised to the power 3 and then t. So we took care of that. Now notice something. Notice that this, that, and that had the same exponent. You see that, right? Okay, so we'll add those up. They're all positive. Okay, you see that, right? They're all positive. The number, everything there in front of them are positive. So we'll say 36 plus 144 plus 36. Okay, it's plus 216. The variables are x raised to the power 2, t raised to the power 2. You see that, right? Okay, so we'll get making progress. What is left? These and that are left. They're both negative, okay? You see that, right? 48 plus 48. That's 96. So that's negative 96x t raised to the power 3, and then we'll add the stuff we'll put up there. You see that, right? See what we did, man. It's hard, man. Well, I don't want to discourage anybody, but that's what we got right there. You know, that's what we got right there. I don't know. Let me see if that's correct. I gotta see if we made any mistake anywhere. If we didn't make any mistake, then it's correct. 81 raised to the power 4 negative 216 raised to power x raised to power 3t to the first power. Then 216 r, not r, x raised to power 2t raised to power 2. And then negative 9. Yeah, I think we did it right. I believe we did it right, man. I don't see any. I'm kind of see if we messed up. See how long that thing is? So we did it that way. So doing it the method A. Look at that. See the space it took? Method A, we went from, let me see if you can see it. Let me use a red line. We went from there all the way here, a whole page, right? Let's do the other method. Let's do method B. What did I call? Let's do method B. I will show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take another page. Method B is you put those things in. Let's go over here. Take it. Oh man, it's long, man. Method B means you take 3x. Okay, I hope I copy it right. Negative 2t. Okay, and then you repeat 3x negative 2t. Okay, and then you put them. You put that. This is a law of exponent somewhere. Let me make sure I copied it right. 3x minus 2t. Yes, the same thing. So you put it like that. This is method B, okay? Alright, let's see if we can get the same result. Don't forget the result we got there. This is what we got there. If we do it right, then we should get the same result. Notice the trick we're gonna play. We're gonna multiply this, and then we how do you say that? We then insert the exponent, okay? So let's do that. 3x times 3x, you got 9x squared, okay? 3x times negative 2t, you got negative, what is that, 6xt, right? So we're done with that foil there. Let's do with this foil here. And then we say negative because it's negative. Negative 2t times 3xt, we got negative 6xt. See that? And then we'll say negative 2t times negative 2t. We'll say it becomes positive 4t squared. You see that, right? Yeah. And then don't forget we'll have that. We'll still got that exponent there. I want to see which one is cleaner. Uh-oh. I want to see which one is cleaner. Sorry about that. Let's see which one is cleaner, man. What the hell is wrong with this? Just give me a minute. Let's see which one is cleaner, right? Okay, we did that. Yeah, let's see which one is cleaner. That's all. Alright. So let's simplify what is inside bracket. We have 9x raised to the power 2 negative 12x t plus 4t squared. All that stuff raised to the power 2. Okay, but you know what that means though? That means we'll have to do 9x raised to the power 2 negative 12xt plus 4t squared. We're gonna multiply it like that. 9x because of the exponent minus 12xt plus 4t. See, we're gonna do that multiplication. So at this point we're over here. At this point we're over, let me see. At this point in the other method we're over here. Okay, so see all these lines, man. You know, so I think this one is brief. It's a little bit brief. I don't know. That's my opinion, man. So basically, we're gonna use 9x raised to the power to multiply this side, and then we'll come back and use negative 12xt. We'll multiply it again. Then we'll come back and use 4t squared. We'll multiply it again. That's all. and then we'll add the result. So let's go 9x squared times 9x squared. What do you get? See, remember we did it before. In fact, if you want, well, no, let's stay. We don't want to copy what we did before. Let's not get lazy. Let's do it. 9 times 9 was 81. So that will be 81 x raised to the power 4, right? And then 9x squared times 12xt. 9 times 12 is 108. That would be negative 108, right? Negative 108 x raised to the power 3, and then t. You see what I'm doing, right? And then 9x squared times 4t. So 9 times 4 is what? Is 36. So it's gonna be positive 36. Let me see, positive 36 x raised to the power second power, and then t raised to second power. See that, right? So that's what we're gonna add it to something down here. Now we multiply with negative 12xt. You see what we're doing, right? Okay. Negative 12 times 9. That's where we got 108. It will be negative 108. Okay. What are the exponents? X. Hang on a minute. I jumped something. Hang on a minute. I think I'm seeing too many stuff. 12 times 9. 108, sorry. Then the exponent will be 3. Okay. And then t. Alright, so that's it right there. And then 12xt times 12xt. Both negative, so it will be positive. 12 times 12 is 44, okay? So that will be positive 44. I'm sorry, not 44, 144 x squared t squared. You see that, right? And then negative 12xt times 4t. Well, what is 4 times 12? That's 48. So it's going to be negative 48 x t raised to the power 3. See it, right? So that's what we did there. We're done with that one. Then we'll multiply with 4t raised to the power 2. So we'll do the same thing. What is 4 times 9? That is 36. So it's going to be positive 36. Is going to be x squared t squared. You see that, right? And then 4t squared times negative 12xt. So what is 4 times 12? That's going to be 48. So it's going to be negative 48. What is that? X t raised to the power 3. See it, right? And then the last one there. What is 4 times 4? Of course, it's 16. It's going to be positive 16 t raised to the power 4. I see it, right? Because t squared times t squared, you get t raised to the power 4. So we're going to add all that. We have to add all that up. So you start with the powers. See, this one is by itself, that one is by itself. So you say 81, positive 81 x raised to the power 4, and then plus 16 t raised to the power 4. You see that, right? And then we'll fill in the in between. Okay. Look at it. Use the exponent as guide. Xt right there, xt right there. Actually, it's x raised to the power 3 times t. X raised to the power 3 times t. I think we only got 2 of those, so you add them up. So it's gonna be negative 16. It's gonna be 216, negative 216 x raised to the power 3, and then t. So we're done with that. We'll try this one here. We look for the exponents. Look at that, and look at that. So we'll add that up. What do we get? It's gonna be positive. We'll add all those three up. Okay. So we'll say 36 plus 144 plus 36 again. I hope we're doing it right. No, sorry. Yeah, we're doing it right. So it's gonna be 216, and it's gonna be positive, right? It's x raised to the power 2, t raised to the power 2. And then we'll have only one left. The only one we'll have left is, let me see if I can find a different color. The only one left is this one here. Let me see. Yeah, this one and that one. You see it, right? Alright, we'll add those up. We'll add it up. They're both negative, so we'll say negative. It's gonna be negative, let's say 48 plus 48. Alright, you see that, right? Okay, it's gonna be negative 96. 96, what are the variables? X raised to the power 1 and t raised to the power 3. So we already got that there. Alright, I think we're done. Pretty much we're done. Is that the same result we got before? Let me see. Look at that. 81x raised to the power 4. 81x raised to the power 4. Negative 216x raised to the power 3, and then t raised to the power 1. Right? Where is the other one? Yeah, see the same there? And then, wait a minute. Okay. I think there's a mistake. No, it's not a mistake right there. 216x raised to the power 2, t raised to the power 2. You see that? So we did that one right. Now what is the next one? Negative 96x raised to the power 1, t raised to the power 3. See? Something. Okay, and then what is the last one? 16t raised to the power 4. You see that, right? So we did it right. We are champion. Yeah, but it took us time. But anyway, we did that. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. If you have any question or comments, leave it under the video. Let's end it here. So next time we do, what is that? We do long division with exponent. Remember, we're gonna do probably polynomial divided by monomial, and then we're gonna do polynomial divided by polynomial. Polynomial divided by polynomial is long division. Alright, so we'll leave it here, and then we'll see you in the next video.